Can you believe One Punch Man Season 2 is already over? That makes us sadder than Saitama when he misses out on a sale. It feels like the show just came back after an agonizing 4-year wait and now it's gone again. We're already going through Moomin Rider withdrawals and the only cure is another One Punch Man season. So to keep our mind off of it, let's turn our eyes toward a potential Season 3 and discuss everything we expect to see if the show comes back for another round. Because it's got to come back, right? Right? By far the biggest question on everyone's mind when it comes to One Punch Man Season 3 is, when will Moomin Rider drop the act and reveal he's the true creator and god of this universe? Alright, maybe that's not the biggest question because we all know it's true. Right? Right. The more important question is if there'll even be a Season 3 at all. Death, taxes, and always being served too much bread at breakfast diners are the only sure things in life. And with the struggle to get Season 2 of One Punch Man made, it hasn't been officially confirmed that Season 3 will happen. But don't lose hope. The official One Punch Man Twitter account released a tweet that, when translated, said One Punch is not over yet. Now that's not enough to start celebrating, but the prognosis sure sounds good. And really, it'd almost be an insult to not have more One Punch Man, as Season 2 ended in a completely unsatisfying way without a whole lot of resolution. Well, unless you really wanted to see Garo getting picked up by a monster bird. If that's the case, then the finale was perfect. 4 years! We had to wait 4 long years in between Seasons 1 and 2 of One Punch Man. That is incredibly unfair. We could have rewatched all 12 episodes of the first season about 8,670 times in that huge chunk of time. And trust us, we tried. But we only got to around 7,000 times on account of bathroom and snack breaks. And with such a long wait between the first 2 seasons, should we expect to grow old and gray waiting for the next one? We hope not. Given the popularity of the show all over the world, our money is that we won't all have dentures and walkers by the time Season 3 is released, and the show will return to the continuing adventures of Captain Baldy and his useless robot sidekick, what's-his-name, sometime between 2020 and 2021. Alright, that was mean. We know his name is Genos, but if the show doesn't come back soon, we might forget. So hurry up, One Punch Man, and return to us already, because we certainly don't have the capacity to wait that long again and might have to restart our binge. The polite way of saying things is that the animation in One Punch Man Season 2 was a slight step down from the immaculate, jaw-dropping visuals of the first season. The blunt way of saying that would be Season 1 was like a Van Gogh painting, while Season 2 was like a dirty macaroni picture that some 4-year-old whipped up on one afternoon. Most One Punch Man fans know the reason for this. The first season of the show was beautifully crafted by Madhouse Entertainment. But their slate was so busy they couldn't devote any time into making a Season 2, hence the long delay. So artwork and production was punted over to JC Staff instead, and their style, although successful in some places, just overall felt underwhelming. But maybe that's not all JC Staff's fault. They had quite the undertaking following up one of the most epically animated seasons of anime ever. So what does this mean for Season 3? Well, we should all start praying to our Lord and Savior Moomin Rider now, because although Madhouse swooping in and resuming animating duties would be amazing, it's more likely that JC Staff will handle the show going forward. One Punch! Forget the story, forget the animation, forget Saitama's personal quest to recapture his fighting spirit. All that doesn't matter because the best thing about a potential Season 3 is an all-new fist-pumping, leg-kicking, head-banging, fingers-jazzing opening. In our eyes, the Season 1 opening is perfection. If we were trapped on a desert island and could only bring one thing, we'd bring the Season 1 opening without any question. It perfectly captures everything the show's about. Saitama punching the crap out of his enemies. Now, although it pains us to say this, the Season 2 opening was good. But we couldn't help but inch closer to that skip intro button every time we heard it. It just didn't inspire the same level of inspiration, and of course the animation wasn't as engaging, but we have faith in this show. Here's our bold prediction. The Season 3 opening for One Punch Man will be the best opening the world has ever seen. The opening will unite the world in perfect harmony, and cause us all to agree to send our nuclear weapons into outer space. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet, or at least we hope so. The show is called One Punch Man, not the Let's Watch Genos Get Beat Up Again show, or the Garo Man or Monster show. What we mean is that while Season 1 had Saitama throwing punches left and right, making monsters minced meat, Season 2 sidelined its titular character for a whole lot of episodes, and we didn't really see Caped Baldy deliver an epic punch until the very end, when he obliterated that giant centipede. We watch this show because we want to see some dang punches. Sure, on some level we understand. Things like the animation budget being saved and how this season was more about Saitama's journey to rediscover his passion for hero work again than it was him turning giant monsters into abstract art paintings all makes sense. But we couldn't help but think this season completely robbed us of worthy Saitama punchin' moments. And with any luck, Season 3 will rectify that. We say that knowing the next part of the manga also sidelines Saitama a lot to focus on more one-on-one fights between other heroes and monsters. Which admittedly sounds cool, but it's not what we signed up for. Not by a long shot. If you tuned into Season 2 of One Punch Man without watching the first one for some strange reason, you would be forgiven if you thought the Ace Ventura-looking villain Garo was actually the main character, as most episodes seem to follow his exploits and his quest to beat heroes. In the One Punch Man world, there are two distinct categories: humans and monsters. It's pretty easy to distinguish the two. The monsters are grotesque-looking creatures who usually want to destroy everything, and the humans are those weird-looking hairless apes that seem to always get themselves into trouble. But what happens when that line is blurred? That is the entire point of Garo, as early on, he, the human, states how he sides with the monsters and goes on a hero hunting spree. This character arc is set against the season's big overarching plot of the Hero Association versus the Monster Association. The Season 2 finale sees Garo being taken to the Monster King, Orochi. Where's this going to go? Will he be forced to take one of those monster-making spores? Or will he continue to shun the Monster Association and follow in his own path? One of the best things about One Punch Man is its huge cast of weird and quirky heroes and villains that show up in outlandish costumes. Some leave us laughing, some leave us terrified, and others, like B-class hero Pineapple, just leave us scratching our heads. But with Season 2 ending by teasing more of the Monster Association, we can't help but look forward to learning more about its monstrous members. We're gonna talk about some exciting villains we can't wait to see in the anime, and we'll dive into some significant manga spoilers. Terrifying dog creature overgrown rover? Yes, please. Führer Ugly? Trust us, he's hideous. Homeless Emperor? Black Sperm? Yeah, you'd think we're making these names up, but no, seriously, these are the upcoming villains we get to watch fight our heroes in Season 3. Where Season 2 of One Punch Man really failed was its introduction of the Monster Association, because it didn't really lead anywhere significant by the end of things. While it's clear now that Season 2 was more of a prologue to what will become an epic battle between the Hero Association and the Monster Association, as both vie for dominance to become top dog. Can we say that phrase, Watchdog Man, or is that offensive? And with such a huge build-up, we expect Season 3 to deliver some epic fights between the two groups. This isn't a huge spoiler or anything. We're not going to reveal that Saitama is eventually killed by Moomin Rider after the biker uses just his crash on him. Whoops, ignore that. But we're going to say that a potential Season 3 will see a lot of one-on-one battles between S-Class heroes and Monster Association members. We're not saying who fights who, but just trust us when we say that if the animation can deliver, these fights will be insane. And can we really ask for anything more from this show? Is the Monster King Orochi the one we've been searching for? The powerful being that could perhaps match Saitama's strength and be able to take a punch, or two? Nah, who are we kidding? If Saitama ever faces off with King Orochi, we expect Saitama to remain unchallenged and victorious. But that doesn't make King Orochi any less intimidating. And he clearly rules over the other monsters, making them all cower in fear out of risk of being eaten. R.I.P. Awakened Cockroach. But other than a terrifying aura and the knowledge that he probably wouldn't fit on an airplane anywhere, what else do we really know about King Orochi? Nothing! And that's where a third season of One Punch Man will hopefully flesh him out, besides the whole be purple and floating in a chair Thanos-style thing that he's got going for him right now. Alright, One Punch Man, you gave us enough of a chance to get to know Lord Boros' motivation and drive before our hero obliterated him with the Saitama staple. Serious series, serious punch. And we just hope King Orochi gets the same chance. Every huge monster boss needs a top advisor, and in One Punch Man, King Orochi has Gyoro Gyoro. While Orochi is huge and intimidating, Gyoro Gyoro is small, slug-like, and looks like you'd need to call the exterminator if he ever came knocking on your door. Although he looks weak enough that even Genos could beat him in a fight, his powers seem deadly because of his psychic ability. He can spy on things with his spy drones and can communicate with telepathy. It's a power set that makes King Orochi and Gyoro a powerful duo, with Orochi being the muscle and Gyoro being the messenger and planner. But how did their partnership start? Did they meet on badguysmeetup.com? We're just hoping Season 3 explores a bit more of Gyoro's past before he meets his end, because no matter how powerful he is, we're pretty sure an encounter with an S-class hero or Saitama will end him pretty quickly. We also hope to see his true form emerge when he's threatened, because if you think he's a gross little bug now, just wait until he's backed into a corner and face to fight. Season 2 of the show did a pretty solid job of showcasing the rest of S-Class's powers and fleshing out their characters. We got to see Tatsumaki interact with her sister, Silver Fang hunt down Gyaro, and Metal Bat on protection duty, which all worked in developing more of their personality. In some instances, it showed us why these heroes deserve a spot in S-Class. Like when we first saw Child Emperor, we thought he was just some kid who got lost from his school field trip. But we soon learned he was a whiz at gadgets and technology. We thought Watchdog Man was just a silly guy in a giant dog costume, but soon learned to give him the respect that he deserved after he pummeled Gyaro. The point is, almost everyone got a moment to shine, and we're hoping that trend continues in Season 3. When your main hero is so powerful that you have to sideline him or else the show would be over too quickly, then you have to develop an interesting cast of supporting characters. And thankfully, One Punch Man has delivered on that with its S-Class heroes. There's one S-Class hero that remains one giant question mark. And no, we don't mean a literal question mark, although we wouldn't put it past this show. Nope, we're talking about the S-Class #1 ranked hero, Blast. His whereabouts are currently unknown, and we're even not sure what he looks like or what his powers are. But since we think we're pretty good at deductive reasoning, we'd infer that his powers have something to do with blasting things. But don't quote us on that. The continuing mystery of Blast has only grown in Season 2, and it opens up a ton of possibilities for future storylines. Is Blast really the strongest hero, or is he a fraud, like King? Is he similar to Saitama, where he's grown bored of his immense strength and doesn't care about hero work, or does he simply not care to get involved? Is he slumming it with everyday people in order to hide his true abilities? Whatever the answer is, we hope Season 3 peels back the curtain a bit and reveals more about the mysterious Blast. Could he beat someone stronger than Saitama? We just need to know! We don't want to bash too hard on Speed of Sound Sonic because, frankly, Saitama has bashed him hard enough already, but here at CBR, we abide by the WWSOSSD motto. What would Speed of Sound Sonic do? Season 2 left Sonic in a really interesting place. As he'll tell anyone within earshot, he wants to beat Saitama more than anything. So when he's offered a monster spore that turns its consumer into a stronger monster, it ultimately isn't a hard choice for the ninja. Although he feels like becoming a monster is equal to dying, he still does it because his burning rage to beat Saitama is just too powerful. He ends Season 2 with a major case of the runs after attempting to cook the monster spore before eating it. Come on, Sonic, everyone knows you only eat monster spores raw. What is this, amateur hour? There's only two people we really feel bad for in One Punch Man. First is obviously Moomin Rider, as he's not allowed to unleash his full potential yet, or else he'd make Saitama jealous. And the other is Genos, the super advanced, super unlucky cyborg who became Saitama's pupil. By all accounts, Genos should kick serious butt. He keeps getting upgrade after upgrade that continuously ups his power level to absurd amounts, and turns him into a supposedly unstoppable weapon. Who could beat such a talented young hero? Well, mostly everyone apparently. Although Genos is popular among citizens and powerful, there's a recurring pattern where he can't seem to win against a strong monster to save his life. Season 2 seemed to buck this trend with him defeating the other robot G4, and we thought Genos would finally start to grow a bit, but everything after that was a backward slide. He couldn't even finish off Awakened Cockroach properly. Well, that isn't his fault, as cockroaches are hard to get rid of. But you'd think that after all the upgrades and enhancements, Genos would be able to win a few fights and not look like a cybernetic body was made of tissue paper. Season 3 needs to give him a few more wins. Come on, what's the strongest hero in the universe gotta do in order to get some recognition? Saitama has no equal when it comes to fighting, and yet only a handful of people know his true strength. He currently sits in B class, which is nothing to scoff at, but that's like putting Michael Jordan on a third-grade basketball team, meaning it's still wildly unproportional. Saitama jumped a lot in the rankings this season, and we're hoping he continues to do so in Season 3. With the last few episodes highlighting Saitama gaining his hero spirit back, we're assuming this means he'll be out fighting more and more in the future. But there are a few obstacles that'll stop him from being properly recognized. One is that he keeps hanging out with King, who seems fun and all, but whenever he's around, King tends to get all the credit for Saitama's battles. Another obstacle is how the Hero Association will probably keep his strength under wraps. If such an originally low-class hero rises all the way to the top, it makes it seem like their rating system is flawed. So, as much as we want it, we don't expect Saitama to be recognized fully for his true power. Well, that's our video on the biggest expectations for Season 3 of One Punch Man. Should there be a third season? What do you want to see in the future adventures of Saitama and friends? Be sure to let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to CBR for more awesome anime content. As always, thanks for watching.